Coronation Street spoilers. Dee-Dee Bailey receives shocking news: will she keep her baby? Airs on Wednesday, April 2, 2025. Dee-Dee Bailey finds herself at a crossroads in Coronation Street's latest episode. Her family is finally granted access to visit her, but the reunion is bittersweet. Emotions run high when James expresses his wish to name the baby Laila. Once the others leave, Dee-Dee drops a bombshell on Ed: she has undergone an emergency hysterectomy, meaning she will never be able to have children again. Ed urges Dee-Dee to reconsider whether she is truly ready to part with her baby, knowing this may be her only chance at motherhood. Meanwhile, James stumbles upon the truth and realizes the gravity of the situation. This revelation could change everything. Lauren stops by to share some positive news: Frankie's operation has been a success. However, she is taken aback by Dee-Dee's unexpected reaction, just as Dee-Dee comes to a final decision about Laila's future. James receives a text message that threatens to upend her carefully made plans. Elsewhere, Gemma and Chesney's bond with Mick and Lou strengthens as the couple generously offers them their old television and the use of their roof box for an upcoming family trip with the kids. However, Ronnie remains suspicious of Mick, who continues to provoke him. Sensing trouble, Ronnie warns Gemma and Chesney to be cautious: Mick may not be as friendly as he seems. As Mick walks away, Ronnie takes matters into his own hands and slashes a tire on Mick's van. Unbeknownst to him, Debbie has witnessed the entire act. Tensions escalate at the Rovers when Mick demands compensation for both his work and the damage done to his van. He reveals he has CCTV footage capturing Ronnie in the act, leaving Ronnie in a precarious position. Meanwhile, Daisy and Christina delight in keeping Jenny wrapped up in their scheme, especially when she shares that she has connected with a man named Dom on a dating app. To heighten the illusion, they send a bouquet of flowers on his behalf, with Christina following up with another message. However, Daisy begins to grow uneasy. Jenny is bound to want to meet Dom in person before long. Over at the hospital, Kevin becomes distressed when Abby has to rush off mid-chemo session after learning Alfie is unwell at nursery. Later, Julie finds Kevin sitting alone on a bench outside, visibly upset. She offers to accompany him home on the bus. Meanwhile, Abby, unable to reach Kevin, grows increasingly anxious when she finally discovers he was with Julie and hadn't informed her. Frustration takes over. Airs on Thursday, 3 April 2025. Coronation Street spoilers. Jack Webster and Hope Stape arrested. Jack Webster and Hope Stape are in big trouble. Discovering that Jack Webster got into trouble for fighting at school, Kevin bans him from attending the end-of-term party. But during his chemo session, he tells Abby he felt he was a bit hard on Jack. Meanwhile, at the precinct, Hope and Jack see two e-bikes left by Toya and Nick. They pay for the scooters and swig on a bottle of booze Hope had in her bag just as Craig and Jess appear, followed by Tyrone and Kevin. Jack admits he paid for the bikes with Kevin's credit card. What will happen to Jack and Hope later? Tyrone finds a furious Kevin drinking alone in the bistro, and the two men lock horns over whose offspring is the worst behaved and who is leading who astray. At number 5, Chesney receives a text from Mick inviting him for a drink and his heart sinks. He meets up with Mick in the Rovers and does his best to mask his anxiety. Later, as Gemma and Chesney settle down in front of the TV, they're interrupted by the arrival of Mick and Lou armed with beers and snacks. Having arranged to meet Todd, Theo knocks on the back door at number 11 and apologizes for his cloak and dagger approach. As Todd cracks open some beers, Theo opens up to Todd and admits he finds him attractive before the pair kiss passionately. Having spent the afternoon in bed, Todd and Theo are loved up, but Theo tells Todd that his life is complicated and suggests they keep their relationship on the down low. When they hear George, Eileen and Julie returning, Theo runs out of the back door but forgets his coat. Returning later, Theo tells a gutted Todd that today was a one-off. As Dee-Dee readies to leave the hospital, a worried Ed arrives carrying Laila in her car seat. She is shocked when Ed reveals what has happened and why he is looking after Laila. At the house, Dee-Dee tells Sarah and Aaliyah that her condition was avoidable. It was a result of gross negligence and she intends to make an official complaint. Aaliyah offers to start the process for her. In the cafe, Julie persuades Eileen and George to join her for a day out on the East Lancashire Railway. Having overheard, Nick and Toya admire her zest for life. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more movie spoilers next week. Goodbye and see you again.